is something amazing, never have in your life again. I hope to live.
It would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than if I didn't take that fight. If I win, I'm a world champion, I'll smash the records, I'm a millionaire, superstar, XYZ, yeah? And if I didn't take that fight, then I've still gone my best.
Expecting it to be announced today, but it is what it is. I'm not, you know, I've had a lot of media asking me my opinion of it today. It is what it is. I think on one side you have to understand the business of it.
Turki Alalshikh has announced the clash between Daniel Dubois and Moses Itauma. The boxing world, needless to say, is buzzing. Dubois is making plenty of noise about his comeback, but the real question is, can he truly handle the pressure when he steps in with Moses? Itauma's rise has been nothing short of electric, and for Dubois, every round from this point forward is a test of survival.
Daniel, you're in the office for a meeting. Is there some fight news coming soon?
Yeah, big news announcing soon, so, you know, I'll let these guys talk about it, but I'm going to be well up for it and we're coming back.
Frank and Sam were excited for Daniel's return.
I'm more excited by his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Big news. It's going to be a tough fight, good fight, quality fight. Everybody's going to love it when they hear it. It's a big, big fight.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're excited?
No, I'm 100% ready to go.
Daniel Dubois speaks of taking the next step, yet, the real challenge isn't merely climbing the rankings, it's surviving Moses' storm. Dubois may dream of belts, glory, and redemption, but Moses has already pulled the heavyweight spotlight firmly his way. If Dubois truly desires that second crown, then he must prove, without question, that he belongs at this level.
I'm going to go in for this next step.
Who is next? Is Moses Itauma on the horizon?
All the guys in the heavyweight division, yeah, they're all, the guy, especially the one who has the belts, and, you know, if the belts fragment or whatever, stuff like that can happen. Whatever way I can become two-time heavyweight champion, that's where I'm going.
But then, Eddie Hearn steps in, with a reality check that flips the conversation on its head. Hearn isn't convinced that Moses should be thrown into such a massive test this early, yet, that's exactly what makes the matchup so electrifying. At only 20 years old, Moses carries a fearlessness that Dubois seems to lack. While Hearn preaches caution, Moses appears ready to tear through the division, and silence every doubter watching closely. Ely.
Or he might knock him out, I don't know, but personally, at 20, you know, you got to get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing, and I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test.
Moses Itauma shows a rare sense of self-awareness here, openly admitting that he needs more experience in the later rounds. Yet, despite that, he insists he's already more skilled than Usyk. Such confidence, at just 20 years old, is nothing short of frightening. If Moses can sharpen his endurance, then his speed, precision, and technique could very well dismantle even the division's most established champions.
Yeah, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never...
And as the hype builds, Tony Bellew drops a statement that sends shockwaves through the entire UK boxing scene. Bellew nails it, this isn't just another heavyweight clash, it's a generational battle. The UK audience is hooked, the stakes have never been higher. Moses stands as the symbol of a new era, Dubois fights to prove he still belongs, and the whole nation is watching history unfold.
This fight's just gone took another toll.
It's absolutely grabbed the public interest now to another level, isn't it?
This is, quite simply, the biggest fight this country's ever seen.
Adam Smith places Moses just outside the heavyweight elite, but that's precisely where the story becomes fascinating. At only 20 years old, Moses is already being mentioned in the same breath as names like Usyk and Dubois, that alone speaks volumes about his raw talent and frightening potential. Smith may argue he isn't ready yet, but the pace of Itauma's development suggests otherwise. With blistering hand speed, effortless movement, and ruthless finishing instincts, Moses could leapfrog contenders far faster than anyone anticipates. Dubois may stand slightly ahead today, but one wrong step, one bad round, and Moses will snatch the spotlight without hesitation. The gap between not ready and unbeatable is closing fast, and Moses Itauma is charging toward it like a freight train.
Ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly edging of the top 3 or 4. He's not ready for them yet.
Adam Smith sums it up perfectly. Moses Itauma is a nightmare for heavyweights. His exceptional footwork, unmatched reach, and lightning-fast counters make him almost impossible to figure out. Commit to an attack, and you're punished. Hesitate, and you're walked down, dominated. That kind of tactical versatility, at just 20 years old, sets Moses apart from nearly everyone in the division. Fighters like Dubois lean on raw power, but Moses blends precision with controlled aggression, a rare combination in today's heavyweight boxing. When a seasoned analyst like Smith calls you a puzzle, it isn't a compliment, it's a warning. Moses isn't just another prospect, he's a dangerous problem no one has solved yet.
With Moses is that his feet and his distance and his range is so good, and he's so quick that if you commit to the punches, you're going to get countered. And if you don't, you're going to get backed up and taken out. So it's a real puzzle. There's not many heavyweights that are southpaws. Obviously Alexander Usyk is, but he's moved up into that domain.
Tony Bellew raises a valid point. Size has long defined heavyweight boxing, but Moses Itauma is living proof that the game has changed. He may not yet possess Usyk's technical mastery, but his natural talent, composure, and ring IQ are undeniable. At just 20, Moses already shows the kind of adaptability that separates champions from contenders. Bellew's comparison to Usyk is no accident. He recognizes in Moses the same ability to neutralize physical disadvantages with skill, speed, and intelligence. Dubois may have the bulk and the knockout power, but Moses carries something far more dangerous, unpredictability.
You don't want to fight Usyk. I mean, I think it's too early for that. Why are you going to spoil someone's career? I mean,
one built on finesse and flawless execution. Bellew isn't hyping him for the sake of it, he knows greatness when he sees it.
I worry about with Moses is the size, but ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant, because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's next outstanding.
Amir Khan, however, warns against pushing Moses too soon. He sounds a note of caution, and he might have a point. While Moses Itauma looks destined for greatness, throwing him straight into a clash with someone like Usyk could be a dangerous gamble. Khan knows better than most what it feels like to be rushed into huge fights without the right experience. For him, the priority should be building Moses carefully, sharpening his tools, step by step, until he's fully prepared for the elite level. But here's the twist, Moses himself has never shown fear of the challenge. Where others see risk, he sees opportunity. That mindset is what separates future champions from nearly men. And while Khan preaches patience, the boxing world may not wait. With Dubois looming and Usyk's reign under question, Moses could find himself thrust into the spotlight far sooner than anyone expected.
You don't want to fight Usyk. I mean, I think it's too early for that. Why are you going to spoil someone's career? I mean,
Carl Frampton acknowledges that Daniel Dubois has improved, but even his praise comes with caution. Yes, Dubois looks sharper, stronger, more refined than before, yet history shows he falters when the pressure peaks. Against Moses Itauma, there will be no room for hesitation. Dubois may be more dangerous now, but Moses brings a level of skill, speed, and composure that Dubois has never faced. At just 20, Moses fights with the maturity of a seasoned champion, constantly adapting, dictating the tempo, and controlling every exchange. When Frampton calls someone a genius, it carries weight, yet even he stops short of fully backing Dubois. Why? Because there's a world of difference between looking better and being untouchable. This fight won't come down to raw strength alone. It's about composure, tactics, and heart. And in those areas, Moses already looks mill.
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the...
Tyson Fury doesn't hold back, and when he speaks, his words carry massive weight. According to the Gypsy King, heavyweight boxing is now a young man's game, and Moses Itauma embodies that future. Fury boldly predicts that Moses will wreck the division's veterans, Usyk, AJ, Zhang, arguing that the new generation is ready to take over. For Fury, Moses represents something different: youth, hunger, fearless ambition. In a sport once ruled by sheer power, the keys now are adaptability, speed, and intelligence, three qualities Moses already has in abundance. And coming from a former world champion who dominated his era, this isn't empty hype. It feels like a passing of the torch. Fury knows better than anyone how fast the old guard can fade when raw young talent bursts onto the scene. So if even Tyson is calling Moses the one to dethrone today's elite, the entire division had better take notice.
Boxing is a young man's game. Like I told